that camera, right?
3, 2.
Hi, I'm Miller. I'm joined by Austin and Derrick. Today we're going to be watching and commenting on the Duke's Mayo Bowl, the announcement video we did for the Charlotte Sports Foundation. We'll start off by taking a peek at the video now. It's been a while since we were on that shoot. Thinking back, the process to getting there, it took us about 3 weeks to get to shoot day. Derrick, there was a lot of planning that went into it. I think you were not envious of me. I kept walking into the office and telling you how many Zoom calls I was on. If you had to estimate, what was the total amount you would say that we spent?
You probably spent a solid work week on Zoom calls, I'm thinking 40 plus hours, and I thankfully got to get a taste of that. But yeah, no, it was fun being able to work with the client and being able to get Luke and just kind of see the process of something a little bit more like a national ad, kind of the undertaking of it and how we would go about it. So it was fun.
Yeah, we bring up the Zoom calls because that shows like how much planning went into us. There are so many parties, from bespoke to the actual partner of the Charlotte Sports Foundation, and even LGA, who is a great partner in this, and they were the ones who helped us get Luke Kuechly through a personal relationship. Austin, what was your reaction when the team found out that we'd be working with like kind of this caliber of personality?
Well, I'm a massive Panthers fan.
Yeah.
And love my boy Luke. My boy Luke, if you see this, love you, man. Let's hang out. But yeah, I mean, I was super excited when I heard Luke was coming on. I mean, it's Luke Kuechly. If you have been in Charlotte for any amount of time and are somewhat into sports, you know who Luke Kuechly is. So yeah, I was very excited, to say the least.
Now, Derrick, you were directing it, and we originally had 3 concepts we were going to pitch them, and then we settled on the tomato sandwich concept. What made that concept stick out to you and that be the perfect one? And then what adjustments did you make when you found out that Luke was going to be the star?
Yeah, the fact that we could have Luke out of everyone that we could have had really elevated things. And I mean, he was just so easy to work with, great guy, fun to be around, and he ate like 7 of those sandwiches, which was rough, but he's a trooper.
Yeah. Austin, so you were the cinematographer on this. You essentially took what was a football field, and I saw like a bunch of stuff set up where I was like, man, I thought we were just filming a guy at a football field. Take me into like the thought that went into that, like the lighting, all that, kind of how you prepared and then how it was executed.
Yeah, so it was a really fun process to try to shoot this. Yeah, we wanted the big stadium look, and we couldn't get into Bank of America, and so we kind of had to figure out how to still, make it a fun picnic football look. And unfortunately, we couldn't get Luke super early to. While our shoot was early,
He didn't want to wake up at like 5 a.m. for you?
exactly.
Okay.
Which whatever, Luke. We didn't do a whole lot other than put some diffusion on the sun and then kind of wrapped him with diffusion on the other sides and blasted, some more daylight onto him. And it turned out pretty good. It was kind of like a soft look. But yeah, it was pretty simple all in all. We just used the sun to light Luke and just soften the sun a little bit and wrapped it. So
No, and going into that day, we knew we had him for 2 hours. We were able to do a site visit, plan everything out, but like we were very structured. And I was wondering, both of you guys worked on that. What is the process of knowing you have that specific amount of time? You have 2 hours until essentially he was getting on a plane and going to Montana to fly fish. But you have 2 hours. How do you guys schedule out such like a big? I mean, the video is 40 seconds, but so much went into it. How do you schedule that time out?
yeah, I mean, I think it starts with scouting, just getting in the space and getting a lay of the land, taking photos, figuring out where your camera's going to be, where the talent's going to be, and then having an idea of kind of what lighting you're going to bring in, especially from my perspective from the day, because then you can really just get in and set it all up as you planned. And so that's kind of what we did. We scouted, we planned it all out, we shot listed very meticulously, and yeah, the day went very smoothly, and we were able to get them in and out pretty quick. So
For sure. Now, Derrick, you were the director on this. It seemed like you and Luke really hit it off. Like, you immediately from the first time you guys were introduced, like, what was he like working with as a talent? And then you mentioned how many sandwiches he went through. Kind of take us through like the process of him, like we went through to create all those sandwiches.
Yeah. He was easy to direct. He was game for anything. He's basically a national hero, and I think we should, have the Luke Kuechly day, at least in Charlotte. That's my opinion.
You're going to go with that? That's a hard take. Luke Kuechly day.
No, but no, he was very, very easy to direct, and was willing to do whatever we asked of him. And it being a simple shoot, that made the ability for anyone to come in, play that role, with just making a sandwich and kind of go through the steps and the motions with simple direction. Like, everything came together well, and really allowed us to give him a good opportunity to be a part of something kind of funny and goofy, but that actually proved to be a really fun way to announce a bowl. And yeah, I mean, when you have someone like him who has the star power that he has, but beyond that is just a really great guy, someone who's easy to be around, it just makes the entire shoot go a lot better. And he's super personable, so you could have put me or anyone else on the team in my role, and they would have clicked easily with him.
I think that's certainly true, and I want to get into your guys' favorite memories of that shoot, or favorite moments that stuck out to you. But I had a unique role of kind of executive producing it. That was actually the first time our client, the Charlotte Sports Foundation, had ever met the sponsor, Duke's Mayonnaise. So I got to be a part of that, and it was a really unique environment. So it was almost like people meeting for the first time. There was a shoot going on where Luke was able to hang out with the Duke's Mayonnaise people, and it was just a really unique environment. But from that perspective, we had 9 people buzzing around. And I think kudos to you guys. We had those 2 hours, and we got a ton of footage. And people may see a 40-second clip, but like a lot went into it. So much was done. So kudos to you guys. And because so much was done, I'm kind of interested in each one of yours guys. What was your favorite moment or favorite scene from that? I'll start with you, Austin.
yeah, I think my favorite part was just like getting to work with Luke and like just being right there in close quarters with him, socially distanced, of course, and with masks. But yeah, just like hearing him like talk about wanting to get into cameras, and just like being down to eat a ton of sandwiches, and like talking about his trip that he was about to go on. Like, that was just really cool to work with him. And kind of like to go back to what Derrick said, he was just so easy to work with.
Derrick, I think I have an idea of what you're going to say your favorite moment was.
Yeah, speaking of trips, I really enjoyed the moment where Luke had his whole table set up. We were going through the motions with just kind of guiding him through the actions, and Miller had a trash can full of sandwiches and trash and other things. And he's coming to clean up the table, and he just trips and spills everything from the trash can right in front of Luke. And it's kind of like when what's the literary term where a character is similar to another character? Not a foil, because that's the opposite.
A hero?
No. Whatever you would deem Kevin from The Office to be is basically what Miller was. Kevin, in the scene where he spills his whole tub of chili, was Miller spilling the trash can of all the crap that we had been doing that day.
I'm serious about this stuff.
It was a moment that will live on forever in our minds and our hearts.
Yeah, I will say Luke offered to pick it up. I did not make eye contact with him at the time out of shame. I was just like scooping stuff up as best I could, and I went and like hid behind the van for a bit. But it certainly is my favorite moment as well, just to be humiliated. So I appreciate you guys bringing that up.
That's too good.
But it was, we did that, and then also we turned the edit within a couple days. And I was wondering if you guys could take me through the editing process, because we had a tight deadline. They also had to announce it. We had to keep it secret. We had NDAs and all that stuff. But I wanted you guys to, what was the editing process with this?
I started out with doing the initial cut, and then I passed it off to Austin, who cleaned it up, sound designed, and then we passed it off to Kane, who colored it and made sure that visually everything looked accurate and clean and the way we wanted to. So it was a pretty fluid and streamlined process, I would say, and doing things like that made it super simple for me as the director to be like, here's the general flow, and then pass it off to somebody who can fine tune it, and who already has the bones of the piece, and then for somebody to wrap it up completely and make sure that the look is exactly what it needs to be. Flowed well, really enjoyed that, and I thought it was a really smooth way of working through a great project.
Now that we got it off to the client like on a Tuesday, and they announced on a Thursday, and we also were able to help them. Kane did an edit with like Maria Taylor and all the principals who were announcing it. We actually did their full announcement, so the work just didn't end with Luke, and it was really that full week leading up and that week leading after. It was pretty much Duke's Mayo Bowl 24/7 for us. But I think I'd be interested, you guys, what was, as it was announced at 10 a.m. on a Thursday, what was your guys, what did you see online? Was the reaction? Like, what was your guys feeling when you guys saw that thing come out live?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, I feel like a ton of people saw it, and it got a lot of media attention there for a sec. And it was just fun to like see, you know, something we made make such a splash in Charlotte, like specifically locally. But like my dad texted me, he was like, "Oh, I saw your Luke video." That's exactly how he sounds. Just kidding. But
You've been very good at voices.
I appreciate
it's one of your talents.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Can you do it again?
Oh man. But yeah, it was just cool to watch something that we did make a splash in Charlotte. And be talked about for a little bit, and it was just like a fun way to announce it, and that was kind of the goal, is just have a fun way to announce it, where, you know, we brought in a Charlottean who everybody loves, and just did something a little goofy to announce, you know, some big news. So.
Yeah, I was the person actually managing the social media for the bowl, and it was just, it was almost like a game day in terms of how things came out. I think the video saw like within a day like 500,000 views just on Twitter. It was like on the NFL Network, all over the place. In fact, if you check out our case study on our website, you can see we kind of pulled all those numbers together and stuff. And it really wouldn't have come together without like a great client like the Charlotte Sports Foundation. And we've been working with them for a long time, but they trusted us with it. We brought them, really, we tried to bring multiple ideas to the table. We brought one sandwich to the table, and they ran with it. They loved it, and it allowed us to really create something I think all three of us and our whole company loves. And Derrick, you were the director. I would say, like, kind of to wrap this up, to take the final bite, if you would. We'll just, like, when you go back and look at the video now, what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I think hindsight on this video, I really enjoyed the entire process of ideating to actually filming, pre-production to production and post-production. I thought that this is probably the most buttoned up we've been with our process internally. And I think that benefited us a lot. And being able to work with someone like Luke Kuechly was really cool, just to see that this dude was willing to give up his time to come out and do something goofy, like make tomato sandwiches. And it makes me, I think looking back on it, it makes me want to continue to aim higher. So next time we have some sort of announcement, instead of a small field, trying to get a Bank of America Stadium or something, no? Yeah, something like that. Panthers, looking at you. But
Anywho. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you guys picked up something from this. This is one of our favorite projects. It really came together in a really, really unique way. It involved me getting embarrassed in front of one of the greatest NFL players of all time. So net win for our company. So keep tuning in, keep following along, and thanks for watching.
Peace.